Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back at it again for one of these videos. Sorry, I'm just a little bit bored, and you see me on Twitter, I'm pretty damn invested in this, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have never been as invested in what is happening right now on social media, on Twitter, on Twitch. I mean, fuck, it's even on YouTube. This might just be one of the biggest cover-ups of all time in Twitch history, and it's happening in real time in front of all of us. And the worst thing is, while it's happening on camera with our eyes that we can see, they're telling us what you're seeing with your eyes isn't real. And in case you don't know what has happened, just to give you go watch probably one of my previous videos. This video isn't about Hassan Piker. This video is about how people bend the knee to this man and all of those involved. And it's been about 7 to 8 days so far. Now, this started off as a simple, Hassan has abused his dog on stream. Let's get him to apologize and get him to correct his ways, use an e-collar properly, because there is a proper way to use one. He was not using it properly, and let's move forward. But that didn't happen. The lies began, and then he was telling us it wasn't an e-collar, and Kaya hurt their paw, and then all of a sudden the button he pressed was for a gate code, and then he wasn't grabbing a remote, he was grabbing a Zin, and then there is no e-collar, and then there is an e-collar, and then there's a collar that only vibrates, and it just got more and more convoluted. And then you would think that the lies would stop with Hassan. But then streamer after streamer after streamer after streamer comes out in defense of this man. Now, first of all, there's Valkyrie, and obviously that's Hassan's girlfriend, so I don't blame her for trying to protect her boyfriend. But at the same time, it's like, we're going to do this shit so blatantly. And then Valkyrie defends her boyfriend, and then Asmongold goes to help Valkyrie traverse the issue, and then she throws Asmongold under the bus, and then she says that she apologizes for talking to Asmongold and says she wasn't aware of his political views, but then there's a clip before she apologized saying that she was aware of his political views, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? It's like everybody on this fucking platform is lying. And at a certain point in my career, I've been doing streaming for 7 years, I've dealt with previous community filled with liars, and at a certain point, you always think that you know who the bad guys are, but even now that I'm talking about this, I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, holy shit, like you have Valkyrie saying that, oh, I know Hassan, and he treats his dog so well, and just the best, most spoiled baby, big baby. And then it's like, Hassan calls his dog spoiled because it wanted to get a drink of water and walk around the house. Then you see a video of Hassan raising his dog with another dog that's irritated and putting them in a confined space to where he's encouraging the other dog to attack his dog and laughing at it like he's like the Penguin from Batman. And then they're telling you, no, your eyes, they just don't work. That's not what happened. And then it goes even deeper. Then there's the collar, and Hassan won't show it the first day. And, 24 hours later, he removes it, said this collar only has the capacity to vibrate. And so for some reason, people believe that lie. And then obviously the Reddit detectives debunked that in 30 minutes. They showed this was the collar that had the electrical prongs, but it was removed, and then they enhanced the fucking scaling, and we find the black tape, and then we understand that Hassan took off the prongs and taped it over, and then streamers like Carolyn Kwan came out and played defense for him, saying, oh no, the collar had no electrical capacity. But then you have QT Cinderella, who slipped up and said it was an electrical collar, and the prongs were removed, and it was taped over like we all saw on footage. And then FaZe calls QT because QT's upset about, I mean, holy fuck, am I like reaching levels of unemployedness to care about this? Or like, you have FaZe, who then goes to call QT and apologized because QT accidentally told the truth and exposed Hassan for misproperly and abusing a fucking dog. And then FaZe Clan says, we stand with you, QT. But QT standing on the side of trying to cover up an animal getting abused. Like, can we just treat dogs right? I mean, holy fuck. Like, listen, I get it. We all have bad moments with our pets. I mean, I've even yelled at a cat before when I was playing Elden Ring, and I feel bad about that shit every day. But, like, to see people keeping their dog as props near their fucking stream so they can seem more relatable, keeping a shock collar on them for 8 hours a day, zapping them whenever they want to move, putting them in more or less fucking dog fights, and seeing clip after clip of the collar being shown, after the remote being shown, we can see the electrical collar, we see the cover up, we see him trying to hide it, we see him fucking use it. And now there's like 14 different streamers all covering for Hassan. These people care more about securing their clout in the industry than they do about helping a helpless fucking dog. We people, I don't really think we're asking for too much. And sorry, I get very intense about how much I love animals. I'm a guy where I have 3 cats and I have a dog. At a point, I've had 7 cats. I used to live with my brother who had 3 dogs. And the thing about animals' lives are, they don't live as long as us. Their whole lives are just a chapter in ours, but it's their whole book. And knowing that there's an animal where they're just living a sad, unfulfilled life, doing nothing but trying to make Hassan seem more human, when we all know, let's just be real, if you were to pull off a skin suit and him be a lizard underneath, nobody here would really be surprised. And the worst thing is, let's just say it's not about the dog. This is a guy who's called for the death of a senator. This is a guy who's encouraged his audience to go out and kill people. This is a guy who showed off what appeared to be a gun, threatened a viewer's life live, and then doxed him. This is a guy who supports terrorist attacks. This is a fucking guy who's blatantly slandered so many content creators with career-ending false allegations, and Twitch protects him. And everyone protects him. And today is the day where obviously you guys have all known that I've been advocating for how fucked up the streaming space is. But to the levels of corruption that are currently on display is truly sickening. And then they tell you like people like me are delusional. They tell you people like Asmongold are delusional. They tell you people like XQC and Trainwrecks are delusional. And the worst thing is, all of the people protecting Hassan right now, and Hassan himself, are considered the good guys, while we sit here and we're deemed the brand risk, the bad guys, the Nazis. What the fuck? And the worst thing is, it's working. People are moving on. People have lost steam. I have blocked over 2,500 accounts on Twitter. And yet, even still, I see people spamming, move on, move on, move on. Delusional, bros obsessed, you're wrong, Hassan debunked it. And it's like, no, that never happened. We bring them proof after proof after proof. They deny it. And they slander all of these other folk with completely baseless accusations that are, 1, greatly exaggerated, or 2, never happened, and everyone believes them. Guys, the world is fucked. What started off as a simple Hassan issues an apology and swears to treat his dog better in the future, and maybe not use his dog as a prop, has now turned into one of the biggest coordinated cover-ups in Twitch history. Hassan's like a fucking mafia boss. He's like the fucking boogeyman to these people. Has anybody heard from Ludwig? Is he dead? Has Hassan shocked him enough to where he can breathe now? I can't believe that this will soon blow over, if it hasn't already blown over. and nothing will happen again because they are telling you that your eyes are lying to you and they want to move on so bad. And the worst thing is, people will. Scary as fuck times right now, guys. Scary as fuck times.